All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the lectures of PHYS 1113, 1118, 111B, Introduction to Mechanics, Fluids, and Waves. Now, I'm Dr. Tong, and I'm going to teach this course in this semester. So let's have a brief introduction of our course. Okay, so you will better know the arrangement of the course. And I share the PowerPoint first. So this is our introduction. Now, what is this course? This course is a calculus-based course on the basic principles of mechanics, fluids, and waves. And this is the first course of a physics major. So if you are going to major in physics, this is the first course that you have to study. Actually, most of the physics major, they have studied this course in the first semester. And for the second semester, I think there are more students from the different departments and faculties. Okay, you may not be a major in physics, but you are interested in the course, and also you may use this course to satisfy the faculty package requirement. Okay, and since this is a calculus-based course, we have assumed a background of Hong Kong DSE physics. So I will not have enough time to teach the secondary high school physics to you. So I assume you to have a good background in Hong Kong DSE physics. And if you don't have Hong Kong DSE physics as a full course, I require you at least to have the Hong Kong DSE physics as a combined science with a physics component, okay, or equivalent to that qualification. And I also assume you to have elementary knowledge of calculus, and that is a calculus up to the level of Hong Kong DSE maths extension M1 or M2. And of course, M2 is preferred because M1 is less on calculus and M2 is more on calculus. So I assume you have to have a level of calculus up to M1 and M2, but M2 is preferred. And in this course, we only will have a brief review on calculus. I will not talk about the details. I will not start with a limit to prove everything to you before putting the calculus on use. So if you do not have calculus background, I suggest you to reconsider whether you should take this course. Now, if you are not confident in mathematics and calculus, you may study University Mathematics 1 concurrently with this course. But that is going to be harsh, okay? Because you are going to handle the math stuff and the physics stuff at the same time. And that may not be easy for most of you. So I suggest you to reconsider taking this course. And instead of taking a calculus-based course, you can also enroll in a non-calculus-based course in physics. And that is PHYS 1002. My colleagues, Dr. Leung, he is teaching this general physics course. And the general physics course does not involve any calculus. So you may consider taking that course instead. And it also satisfies the faculty package requirement. And it is for those who don't have calculus background. Okay. So if you are in doubt whether you should take this course or not, you can talk to me in person during the break, or you can find another time to discuss with me in detail. I'm happy to help you in choosing the right course to take. And because I emphasize that you should have the background, because I don't want to trap you in the middle. If you study the course for several weeks after the drop period, you cannot drop the course, and suddenly when you come to the midterm, you find it very difficult, and that will be too late, because it will be quite difficult for you to drop the course at that time. So I don't want to trap you in the middle. So please consider carefully before taking this course. Now, this is the so-called textbook, but actually I'm not using much of this textbook. It is The Principle of Physics by Hardy, Resnick, and J. Walker. I have reserved the 9th edition of the textbook, several copies of the 9th edition of this textbook. in the library in the resource book section. And if you are interested in seeing the detail, you can go to library, or you can to take a look at this book. And I know that the newest edition is the 10th or the 11th edition, and they are available in the university bookstore. But I do not require you to buy this book. I just want you to have a look of it during because some of the my homework involve a reading assignment, so I prefer you to be able to access this book. You do not necessarily buy it, but you can have a lot of it. Now, these are the topics that we are going to cover in this course. As you can see, many of the topics are actually the topics that are covered in Hong Kong DSE syllabus. But we are going to discuss it in more detail, to a greater depth, and also with a more precise mathematical language. So we are using calculus, we are using more formal mathematical language to discuss the same topic. And so we can describe the phenomenon more precisely and in a greater detail. Okay. So let's be introduced a little bit. The first topic is on particle dynamics, kinematics and dynamics. Basically, it's about vectors and scalar in 1 dimension and up to 3 dimensions. And we're going to introduce Newton's law of motion that you learned in high school, but in calculus form, applied to the circular motion. And also we'll discuss about energy, the work and energy, and about the conservation of energy. Okay. Elementary calculus will be reviewed and introduced at the level of the textbook. And the second topic deals with the system of particle, in which you have 2 or more particles, they may collide with each other. So you have a concept of the center of mass because you are dealing with many particles. You are dealing with a rigid body, for example. So you have the concept of the center of mass of the body. And you also have a concept of linear momentum, the impulse, and also you formulate Newton's second law in a form for a system of particle. And you deal with collisions, and you use the conservation of linear momentum to deal with the collision problem. Now, the topic 3 is new for you. I don't think many of you have learned rotation in your high school. It's actually a new topic because we consider an object with a finite size, so it can rotate about a certain axis. And this is called rotational kinematics. And just like linear motion, it also has inertia, called rotational inertia. And to produce such a rotation, you need a torque. A torque is essentially a moment of force that produces the rotation. So if you apply the force on the object and the force produces a moment or a torque, then the object will start to rotate. And that is the Newton's second law in rotational form. Okay, so we have a corresponding law, Newton's law in the rotational form. And we also discuss about the work and energy in rotation and how a body rolls on a surface. And also we discuss an important quantity called angular momentum. This is a counterpart of the linear momentum. The linear momentum deal with rectilinear motion, while the angular momentum deal with rotational motion. And we also have the conservation of angular momentum if the net torque acting on the system is 0. Topic 4 is about Newton's law of gravitation that you have learned in high school, but we cover more depth in gravitational potential energy. And we also derive Kepler's laws of motion. And we discuss about some topics about elliptical orbit instead of just a circular orbit. And on topic 5, we have a fluid motion, fluid pressure. Pascal principle is about the distribution of the pressure inside a fluid. We also discuss about the buoyancy force or the upthrust force, the force that lifts up an object when it's immersed in water. So that is Archimedes' principle. And we also discuss the ideal fluid flow. and the conservation of mass, that is the equation of continuity, and also the balloon's equation, which describes the ideal free flow. And so this topic is actually new for you. We don't have a discussion about fluid in high school. And for topic 6 is also new to you. It's on oscillation. We first talk about simple oscillation called simple harmonic motion, and also discuss about the energy in oscillation. And we introduce a damping force such that the oscillation slowly dies down, and that's called damped oscillation. And we also study about a force oscillation, in which there is the external force shaking the object, setting it into vibration, so that when the external force is shaking the object at a frequency that is equal to the natural frequency of the body, that would be a resonance. The body will absorb a large amount of energy and vibrate in a great amplitude, and that is called resonance. Okay, we discussed about this resonance phenomena. And on topic 7, we have the waves, namely the transverse and longitudinal waves that you learn in high school. We discuss about wavelength and frequency, but we formulate it in terms of more mathematical language. And we introduce about the wave equations, which is just a continuous version of Newton's second law. And we discuss about the energy and the principle of superposition of waves. And then we have a standing wave, which is not propagating waves, but the vibrating, statically vibrating waves. And we also have a sound wave. We discuss as well the application of a wave equation to sound wave, and also speed of, we should calculate the speed of sound, and the intensity and sound level, interference of sound, bits, and also the Doppler effect. Okay, so that is about the content of the course. Now, you should log in the Blackboard to see the all the course details. Okay, we have all the lecture notes, homework, and assignment solution, and supplementary material placed inside the Blackboard. Now you can actually easily you have very convenient links here. You have an announcement here, and also you have all the course material in this area. You can download the lecture notes and also the homework and solution, and you can submit the homework here. And also, if I have some additional material for you, such as video clips and past paper, I will put it here. And I also include some links for your convenience, as that you can access the lecture, the Zoom lecture, directly from this link that join Zoom classes. And there are some micro modules I will upload it later, okay, for you to review. And there's a notice board here for the important notice, so you can prepare yourself for the learning activities. Now this is me. I'm responsible for the lectures, and this is Juno. Juno is responsible for exercise class BE1. Wei Chang is responsible for exercise class BE2. And Kim Leung is responsible for exercise class BE3. We'll talk about the exercise class later, what we will be doing in the exercise class. Now this is our contact, so to speak. My office, my personal Zoom ID. Because of the pandemic, you're welcome to contact me through Zoom instead of coming to my office directly. And I also leave you an email and your office hours. So in case if you have a certain matter to discuss with me, you are welcome to use this this channel to contact me. Okay. So these are the 3 TAs, and they are responsible for this exercise class. And these are the Zoom ID and the email. Now we have the lectures, tutorial, and exercise class. The lecture and tutorial actually are the same thing. They are taught by me, okay? And we have the Tuesday lecture and Thursday lecture, and these are the Zoom ID, but actually you don't have to memorize the Zoom ID. You actually can join the Zoom class simply by clicking on the links in the Blackboard, okay? And also we have the 3 classes of exercise class. They take place in the same period, okay? All the 3 classes, the schedule is in Monday, 1:30 to 2:15. So all the 3 classes have the same schedule. But to this week, we do not have the exercise class. The first exercise class will be held next week on January the 18th to 2021. Okay, so remember to join the exercise class at next Monday. Okay, so these are the Zoom ID. Now I know most of you, when you see the courses, I know that most of you have registered the class BE1, right? But I suggest because the class BE1 actually have much more students than the other class, so it may not be very convenient for you to have a discussion, because we divide you into a small class, because we want the TA to handle your questions and also interact with you more, so that we prefer a smaller class. So if most of the students are clustering in a BE1, then it may not be very convenient for the discussion. So I suggest some of you to move to the class of BE2 or BE3. Okay, instead of all of you clustering to BE1, I suggest some of you to go to the other class. So you may not be formally registered for BE2 and BE3, but if you like, you can go to those classes as well. Okay. Now for the lectures, I will teach you about the essential concept, and also I will have some in-class example that I'm going to do with you. And you can join the lectures using the link provided in the backboard. And I will record all the lecture. Now I'm recording the lecture, this lecture now. Okay, so after the lectures, after a few hours after the lecture, I will put the links to the backboard so that you can review the lecture at any time you like. Okay. And you are encouraged to raise questions and discuss with me, or you can have discussion among yourself after the class. And if you still have problems about your learning, if you still to raise a question to have a longer discussion with me, you are welcome to contact me by email or telephone, or using email, you can request a Zoom meeting so I can have a more detailed discussion with you. Okay, so that is about the lectures and tutorial. And what are we going to do in the exercise class? In the exercise class, you will be guided by the TA and to do a problem, one or two problems together. Okay, and those problems will not be given to you beforehand. That means the TA will give you the problem right at the lesson, but not before that. Okay, so you do not know what problem you are going to do in that class. And I'm not going I'm not also going to give you the full solution. I will not upload the problem. I will not upload the solution to the blackboard. So that means you have to go to the exercise class in order to see the problem and work on the problem. The purpose of doing so is to make that problem not the homework for you. I'm not going to give you extra homework. We already have extra enough homework. So I'm not going to burden you by giving you an extra homework. So the purpose of the exercise class is to let you engage in the problem-solving process. I want you to go through that entire thinking process of solving a problem together with a TA during the class, but not after the class, but you do it yourself. Okay. So if you have any problem because there's a small class, you can raise your question to the TA, and the TA is going. They're good people and they're happy to help you in going through those problems. Okay. So I hope you can solve the problem during the class, but not after it. Okay. Now, your groups, your assignment of the groups are preliminary. I think you can go to the other classes. If there are too many people in one class, I think you can go to BE2 and BE3. Okay. And if there's need, we can rearrange the group after the airdrop period. I will post it on the course website if that is necessary. And the first class will be held on the 18th of January. So next Monday, we have the first class, exercise class. So this is the link to join the classes. Okay, you click the link in the blackboard, and it would display all the classes in the course. So you can join any class by clicking on the button join. We have the lecture, the Tuesday lecture, the first day lecture, and also we have 3 classes, concurrent classes of exercise class, BE1, BE2, and BE3. So you can click the link to join any of the class. Okay. And also, I will provide you with the lecture recording. I record the lecture, so you can review it here. You just click the link to see the lecture, and in seeing the lecture, you have to enter the passcode. Okay. And we also have a consultation hours. The consultation hours are provided by the TA. Juno and Wai Chang and Kim, they have prepared several time intervals for providing extra help to you in your learning. So you can go to find them in this time interval. Okay, if you want to find Juno, then you go Tuesday, 2:30 to 4:15. If you want to find Wai Chang, you should go Wednesday. Okay. How to find them is that we have a Zoom ID. Okay. So you log in Zoom with your university login, and you simply find them by using the personal Zoom ID. They will open a Zoom section at the time of the consultation hour, so you can easily find that. Okay. So these are the important things. Or if you don't want to remember those details, you can simply click the consultation link here in the blackboard, and it will display all the Zoom link. So you just go to the classes during this time by clicking the link here, and it will open the gates to the Zoom to the consultation sessions. Okay. So I urge the TA to be there during the consultation hours, and they're ready to help you in case you have a problem in your study. If you want to discuss more about what you have learned in a lecture, or you have a problem in solving the homework problems, and also you have difficulty in the learning, please take your time and go to find them. Okay, because they are there to ready to help you. If you don't go to them, they simply will be staying before the Zoom for 2 hours, and that would be a waste of their time, right? So they are there at the consultation hour. So please appreciate the effort of staying there, and please go to find them. Okay, so that is the important message. Now, this is the assessment of the course. For homework, we have 20%. Midterm takes 30%, take up final for 40%, and we have a project presentation, which takes about 10%. So this is the assessment, but I emphasize that please do not let the assessment to you rule your life. And I think you should learn for your own sake. Okay. Now, preliminary, we are going to hold the midterm on 4th of March during the lecture hours using Zoom. And I don't know about the situation. I cannot predict the situation of the pandemic. But for the final exam, we may go face to face if the pandemic allows. If the situation of the pandemic allows, we may go face to face. So I better leave this arrangement to be done later. Okay. If the pandemic doesn't allow, then we have to do it in Zoom again. But I suppose that our midterm will be done in Zoom. Okay. And also, you have a presentation. Do you remember you have a project presentation here? So that will be done in the last exercise class, and that is on April 19. Okay. In this lesson, you have to present your finding on your project to your classmate and also to the TA. Okay, so that is the project presentation. Because it's constitute 10% of the marks. So if you don't go, then you will lose all the marks in this part. Okay, so please remember these important dates. Don't miss them. Okay. Now let's discuss about how to pass the course. We have for the foundation course like PHYS 1111, we have the so-called 20% criteria. The 20% criteria is like this. The 20% criteria is like this. If you cannot get up to 20% of the marks of all written exam, now written exam include the midterm exam and the final exam. If you cannot get at least 20%, I mean the midterm and the final added together. Okay, if the midterm and the final added together, you cannot get 20% of the total marks, then you will fail the course. That is the criteria. So in order to pass that course, you have to get at least 20% of the marks in their written exam. And of course, the marks have to be above, your marks have to be above the passing mark. And the passing mark and the grade border are set by the physics panel examiner after examination. And we set that this passing mark and grade border according to the grade descriptor. This are the criteria for setting the grades. Okay. Now, for a physics course like this, I'm sorry to let you know that you have to do a lot of homework. Actually, we have a weekly homework on a weekly basis. So that means you have to do homework every week. Okay, and the homework is available on the course website, and the TA will be responsible for the grading of the homework. Now, because of the pandemic, I think you will submit the homework online to the Blackboard, and the TA will also grade the homework online, and they will let you know the result. They will let you know the marks, or they will give you simple comments on the homework 2 weeks after this deadline. So after your submission, after 2 weeks after your submission, the TA will grade the homework and give you the marks and a comment. Okay. And the due time is usually printed on each homework, and it's usually 12:30 p.m. on each Friday, unless otherwise stated. In some cases, if there's a holiday, then the due time may change. Okay. And also, I do not accept late submission. This is very strict. Okay, if you are late for 1 hour, then I probably will not accept it. I simply will not count it towards your final grade. Okay, so please be punctual in submitting your homework. Okay, so you should go to the Blackboard. You should submit your homework well before this time. Late submission will only be accepted if you have a very special situation. Like, for example, if you are sick, then you have to show your medical certificate and to me and to apply for sick leave. Okay. If you do not have such a certificate, or you do not have a very important compelling reason, then I would not give you the chance to late submit your homework. Okay. Now, this is how you submit your homework. If you click on the homework and solution, there will be a series of homework. Okay. Now, the attached file are the downloads of the homework. You click this link, and you will be able to access the homework. And after you do it, you write it on a piece of A4 paper. Now, for physics homework, I do not expect you to type the solution, because physics homework always involve a lot of equation and also it involve a lot of graphs. So it's not easy for you to type it. Okay, so I expect you to to handwrite it on a piece of paper, and then you take a photograph of it using your mobile phone, or use a scanner to scan it, and you compile a single PDF file. Now, please don't submit scattered image file, because the TA will have difficulty in grading your assignment if the file are scattered, and the TA may lose a few of your pages. So if you submit it in separate image, the TA will give you some penalty. He or she may deduct you some marks of the assignment. So please submit it. Please convert your image files into a single PDF document for submission. Okay, and you are going to submit it here using submission link. You just click the homework number. That is a link, and after clicking this link, you will be leaded to a page for assignment submission, and you simply press the button, browse my computer, and upload your document, and then press submit, and that's all. Okay. And other means of submission, you by email or other formats, they are not accepted. If you submit the email to me, I will tell you to go to the website again, because I'm not here to collect your homework. Otherwise, if all of you send the homework to me, then I cannot handle so much homework, and I will lose some of your work. So that is not a good way to do. So please do it all on the blackboard. Okay. If you have any problem in doing it from the blackboard, please let me know. Okay. Now there are 4 parts of the homework. Now part A actually is a reading assignment. That means you do not need to submit it. There's nothing for you to submit actually. It's to read, to understand, to explore. Because during the class time, I only have enough time to teach you the essential concept. So in order to fill in all those details, you have to read yourself. And I refer you to the textbook. HRW means Holiday, Resting, and Walker, the textbook I introduced to you earlier. And some examples may appear in exam. Some example in the textbook may appear in exam, but you don't have to submit anything. And the part B consists of simple problems, the basic problems, and there's also no need to submit it because I've given to you the solution at the beginning. So these are for training your basic skills about this course. So if you have problem in doing this simple problem, then you should actually review your study. You may have difficulty in handling the basic details. So in that case, you should boost up your study, or you should find us for help. Okay. Now this is the homework. Okay, and this is a solution to the problem in part B. Okay, so the solution will be given together with the homework. So there's no need for you to submit it. Okay. Now the part C constitutes 80% of the marks, and they are the core problems. Okay. So so most of the training is here, and part D will consist of the more difficult problem, more challenging problem, or more contextual problem. Those problems may involve a certain daily life context or interesting context, and that constitute about 20% of marks. Okay. And so the two parts C and D, you have to submit it, and they make up the total marks of the homework. Okay. Now we emphasize that it's important for you to do the homework yourself. You can discuss among yourself. You can have discussion. You can ask us for help. But the most important thing for you to do is to do it yourself. Just like basketball. You cannot be a good basketball player just by watching NBA. Okay, if you look at me during the lecture and I say a lot of things and you understand that those things, that is not enough. The important thing is that you can do it yourself. That is the way you learn physics. Okay, so physics required actually a lot of practice. If you don't practice, you don't know what you learn good, and you don't learn it well. Okay, so it's important for you to actually practice and discover what you haven't learned very well, and you go to that parts to review your learning. Okay, so that's important for you. You have to play in the court. That means you have to do the homework. And we don't tolerate plagiarism. If you plagiarize the other homework, and that I will put you in a faculty disciplinary committee. I'll raise the case to the disciplinary committee of the faculty. Okay. Now, I've sent an email to you before the class, right? And I urge you to submit the Declaration of Honesty in Academic Work Statement. Okay, so if you log in the Blackboard, you click the homework and solution area, and you find that is the first homework. The first homework is not the homework at all. It is the declaration form. You download that declaration form, and that is for you to declare that you do not cheat in the homework or any exam, and also you are honest. You do not plagiarize any homework or exam, and you put your signature here and your personal information here. Now this is a PDF document, so you have to save after entering your details and you sign it. You have to save the PDF document into another file. Okay, you save it as another file using your name, and then you submit that file to the Blackboard. Okay, so that is the idea. Okay. So I actually to submit this before this Friday. Okay, so everybody has to submit it. If you don't agree on this academic honesty statement, the TA will not grade your homework. Okay, and we will not grade your midterm or final exam. This is the agreement between you and me, and saying that you will be honest in the course. Now, do you remember we have the project presentation? What are we going to do with the project? The project is actually a small one, and you are going to form a teams of 2 students, and each team is to be assigned one project. Okay, and in the lecture, we mainly talk about the analytical skill. That is a symbolic calculation skill to solve the physics problem. But in your project, you are required to use the numerical skills. You have to do it with a computer, using a computer to solve a problem. Okay, so you are going to solve a rather complex problem by using a computer. Like, for example, in this example, you use a computer, you use Excel spreadsheet to solve the problem about the expansion of the universe. Okay, so the expansion of the universe actually is not a simple curve that upwards, but there's a transition stage from a decelerate expansion to accelerate expansion. So that is the way you work on the problem. And you will present your finding in the exercise class to train your presentation skills. Okay, so it consists of the training of your numerical skills of solving a physics problem with a computer, and also it trains your presentation skills. Now we have some e-learning support for this course. The first course is the first e-learning micro modules is developed by Professor Kenneth Yang. And this e-learning modules is mostly beyond the syllabus of the course, but it enables more capable students to learn at their own pace. And it helps you to review the topic learned in this course. And also it helps you to learn for yourself the topics that go beyond the requirement of the course. Okay, so they are narrated PowerPoint, And totally, we have 1,200 videos, 200 minutes of videos in a wide range of topics. So it's just cover every branches of mechanics, every branches of mathematical physics that you're going to learn in your year 1 and year 2 study. Okay, so it also serves a mini library for the essential mathematical skills. So even when you go to a senior year, when you are in year 3 or year 4, and when you when you cannot recall, when you forget some important mathematical skills, you can always use this mini library to help you refresh your memory. Okay, they provide convenient links for you to just click on the link and see the topic in great details. So this is an essential library for you to review your mathematical skills. So this is the web link. I think you can just click it in the course outline to access this e-learning module. Now, also rearrange the links using. Also rearrange the e-learning modules here according to the mathematics topics. Okay, so these are two. This a web page consists of 2 columns of convenient links. Okay, now the links on the right hand side, on the right column, they are the more advanced mathematical skills, and they are by Professor Kenneth Yang. They are equivalent to this e-learning module. Okay, but we just provide some convenient links for you to view the content of different topics. So they are arranged according to the mathematical topics that they present instead of the mechanics topics. Okay, and the column on the left hand side consists of the basic skills for filling the initial gap in the study. Okay, and they are done by Dr. Chen Wenho. Okay, so these are the pre-university to year 1 mathematical skills. So if you forget some basic skills, for example, calculus in your high school, then you're welcome to join to see this lectures, to see these micro modules to review the basic skills. Now, so what are our learning objectives? Now, in fact, you have learned most of the concept before, at least half of the concept you learned in high school, right? But we are going to make them more precise using the language of mathematics. So that means this is a mathematical course. And we also introduce new concepts on rotation, gravity, fluids, waves, and oscillations. Okay, so these are the new topics for you. And in your high school, you may be involved when you solve a physics problem. You may be involved in finding the suitable equations, and then you plug in the numbers and you get the result, right? That is what you've done. You have done in high school. But but you are now at the university. In the university, you learn physics. You have to learn to formulate a problem. You are giving some information, and using those information, you have to learn how to formulate that problem and solve that problem. And instead of just plugging in a number to get the result, to get a numerical result, you have to derive symbolically. So that means you have to handle the symbol and derive equation step by step. Okay, and you also have to apply the general principle. When you learn a general principle, you should be able to apply that principle, that equation to different situations. Okay, and that again is to be done analytically and symbolically. Instead of having a number, you don't carry this number around, but you have to derive it, the whole thing using a symbol. And after you get the result, you have to learn how to interpret the result, and you appreciate that physics is quantitative, and precise description of the nature is only possible using the precise language of mathematics. Okay, and you also learn some numerical skills the numerical skill is not the plug-in equation skill you learn in high school, but instead you use the computer program or you use Excel, Microsoft Excel, to let you solve a very complicated problem. Okay. And so the purpose of introducing to you all this is to build a solid foundation for you so that you can better prepare yourself for upper level physics course, because this is a foundation course in physics. So I expect you to have a good foundation, well prepared for the upper level course. And I also expect that the skills, the mathematical skill you learn in this course to be able, you should be able to transfer it to other branch of physics. You should be able to apply it to other courses. Okay. And some extra topics, they will not be examined, but I will also teach them about modern physics, just to enhance your perspective in physics, just to give you a broader understanding about what people are doing in the research. They will be taught, also be taught in the course to enhance interest. So I'm the facilitator only. I only facilitate you to learn, but I want you to believe in yourself that you can do much more than you think. So you'll be able to, when you're able to learn this, understand the things very thoroughly, you should be able to apply to different situations. So the important thing is to change your learning habit. Instead of doing the memorization thing, instead of just memorizing what you have learned, you should actively understand what you have learned. Okay, you should and understand it thoroughly, and you should able to apply and generalize it to different situations. So that's the important message. When you are able to do this, you will be like Yip Man. You can 1 fight 10. Okay, you can fight with 10 people because you learn the skills. You are not learning the facts. Okay. If you learn the facts, then it applies to one situation that may not be applied to another situation. But if you learn the skill correctly, you can easily transfer what you have learned to other situations, and you can fight with 10 different situations very easily. So that is what you are going to learn. And I hope that this is not only for the sake of learning physics. This is for the sake of the whole life. Even when you are not doing, you will not be doing physics in your senior year or in your career, you still have to learn actively yourself to have a good understanding of everything. So be able to learn it yourself and apply it to different areas. So that is the important message. I think that is a kind of lifelong learning. Okay. So people say the sky is a limit, but actually physics go beyond that. Physics go from the smallest to the largest. Okay, physics goes down to the elementary particle, one microscopic world, to the macroscopic phenomenon like the galaxy and the expansion of the universe. So don't put a limit on yourself. You can explore more and you can understand more. That is the idea of our teaching. So we better have a break here. After 10 minutes of break, we come back and we discuss about, we have a brief introduction of about what is physics. Okay, so let's stop here for a while of 10 minutes. So I stop the recording first.